on Saturday. A sweaty Seattle game that started with Lance McCullers Jr. facing off against Logan Evans ended in an even sweatier extra innings bullpen game. But the Mariners won this series and took the tiebreaker for now over our hated division rivals, the Houston Astros. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And today, we're just a few minutes away from first pitch of the Sunday rubber match in this series, but we've already taken the first two games and the series with it. If the Astros win today, they'll tie us on the season tiebreaker, and the final series of the season between us will determine, actually I don't know if we have one or two more left, but the rest of the way would be even, and whoever wins the rest of the way would take it. But we could also go two games up in the tiebreaker today, and then have that two-game cushion in the tiebreaker going into the final stretch and the final series against the Astros. So this is absolutely one of the most important games. I know I've heard a lot of Mariners fans calling this one of the games of the year so far, and it's easy to see why. There's just so much to talk about here. First of all, the fact that the Mariners win 7-6 in extra innings, but get out hit 12-7. But our expected batting average, 23 ticks higher than the Astros at 274 to their 251. So we were making good contact all night, not getting as many hits as we wanted, but we did manage to get enough runs across the plate in those late innings to win this game. And that tying run in the eighth really saved this one. Starting off, right, you had Logan Evans going up against Lance McCullers Jr. Neither of them made it more than 4 innings. McCullers only going 2.2, Evans only going 4. But Evans going and pitching 4 innings of 2-run ball on 6 hits and 3 walks, getting 5 strikeouts on 88 pitches. He was lit up in this one, though. He was hard hit 8 times on just 88 pitches, which is definitely more than you want to see. Lance McCullers was only hard hit 7 times on 75 pitches, so actually about the same rate. But he was throwing all those breaking balls, and the Mariners really didn't bite, which allowed us to get him out of this game early. He only, get him out before, in the third inning before he could get through 3. He goes 2.2 innings, gives up 4 runs on 5 hits and 3 walks, only 1 strikeout. The Mariners were not whiffing on his breaking balls almost at all. And when I go into the data, which I'm going to do right now for both of these pitchers, you see that Lance McCullers Jr., 3 swinging strikes on 75 pitches is horrendous. Although he only let in 4 runs, I could have seen us, if we were smacking those breaking balls the way that we were in that Tiger series before the break, there could have been a few more homers in this one. Because that slider that he threw, no whiffs on 21 of those. Knuckle curve, 2 whiffs on 20 of those. Only 3 swinging strikes total, with the other one coming on a 4-seam fastball, which he threw 7 of. None on the cutter, on 3 cutters. None on 15 changeups. None on 9 sinkers. So the fact that the Mariners didn't whiff on the slider and the changeup at all is a dream come true when you're looking at the underlying numbers. Obviously, still an incredibly close game, and that's because after these starting pitchers, first going over Logan Evans, he was the better swing and miss guy on the night, and I'm actually as confident as I've ever been that he could be developing some swing and miss potential here. He gets 9 swinging strikes on 88 pitches, 3 on 34 cutters is not a big number, but when he's able to throw 34 of those, go 39% cutter, get a few whiffs, and overall limit the hard contact with an average of 85.3 miles an hour on there, gives up a few hard contact, here and there. He gave up, those 8 hard hits. Every pitch that got hit, he gave up at least one batted ball over 100 miles an hour as well, so that's not great. He is prone to those big mistakes, but when you can get 3 swinging strikes on 34 cutters, then add 4 on 27 sweepers, 2 on 12 sinkers, then you only have to throw 5 each of the curveball, 4-seam, changeup, which might not be his best pitches. But the cutter, sweeper, and sinker all look like they at least miss a few bats with potential to get a little bit better as this guy develops as a major league pitcher. Like, who knows next year if he's in the rotation. Maybe we could see a velocity gain. I mean, if we see a velocity gain in spring trainings from Logan Evans, he could be a popular breakout pick in fantasy baseball, betting circles, things like that. Maybe not going to be an all-star, but can definitely grow into like a third starter type, middle of the rotation, solid guy. I could even see I don't know if he's going to go more of like a Kyle Hendricks route, a Kenta Maeda route, being a real cutter guy. But it'll be interesting to watch. Even like a little bit of, I don't know. It's tough to find comps. I'm gonna go probably next start of his, do some comps on him for other guys that really succeeded with that cutter. Which that Corbin Burns Cy Young year, you saw him. Maeda had a good year. You saw a lot of guys, a lot of starters really featuring a cutter as their primary pitch and exploding in value for their teams. Logan Evans, I don't think necessarily is going to do that based just on this, but I didn't think he had any real potential to get swing and miss with a four-seam sinker combo, Jet kind of throwing, everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. It feels like he has kind of a rhythm now. And even though he only gets through 4 innings in this one, the swing and miss wasn't bad. And in spite of allowing the 8 hard hits on 88 pitches, just giving up the 2 runs as damage, the ERA is still intact for Logan Evans at 3.81. Whereas Lance McCullers' 6.9 ERA is going to be tough to normalize when you've just got a little over 2 months left in the season. Moving on to the bullpen, though. Both sides' bullpens combined to make this feel like a playoff game. And our game is about to start today, which is the best starting pitching matchup. Sorry, I can't even speak. That we will see for quite a while. But you've got our bullpen. Carlos Vargas comes in, gets 4 outs, but gives up 3 earned runs on 17 pitches. Doesn't give up a homer, but give up 1 hard hit, and Vargas just kind of got BABIP to death on those 3 hits. Gabe Spire comes in, though. He allows 2 hits, but gets 2 crucial outs to end that 6th inning. And then the rest of the way, the bullpen combines to absolutely blank the Astros, save for one run that wasn't earned on Brash in extra innings because of the runner on second. The bullpen combined for the next 5 innings, 0 earned runs, only 3 walks. You had 4, 6, 7, 9 strikeouts over those 5 innings. No homers allowed. And took how many pitches? 52, 61, 73 pitches. Just to go 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, just 3 walks, 1 hit allowed. Absolute dominance from the bullpen, from Spire through, including Spire, who didn't get a strikeout, but through Legumina, Thornton, Munoz, Brash, Bizzardo. And Bizzardo especially looked like one of the dominant options in this bullpen in that final inning. Just going 9 pitches, 2 strikeouts, allowing the 1 hard hit. But his stuff is awesome as well. And I want to look at his player breakdown as well, because here it is. He had 3 swing strikes on 9 pitches, 2 on 5 sliders, then 1 on 4 sinkers. Gives up 1 piece of hard contact. But he's just an awesome sinker slider guy right now. I could even see him, featuring a cutter at some point, getting some more pitches in his arsenal, because he's a big dude. Reminds me a little bit of Diego Castillo, but he's young and he seems to be really still growing. And looking at the actual hitters' performances in this one, the Mariners did really well. Just the fact it says more the fact that we didn't whiff on any sliders or changeups from Lance McCullers than almost anything. You only get 7 hits, but you score 7 runs, more than the Astros 6 on 12 hits. And Cal Raleigh, despite going 0 for 5, he does score a run, and he has 4 hard hits in those 5 at bats. So even when he also had a batted ball, I think 384 feet, so it would have been a home run in a few other ballparks. But he's still looking great at the plate. His swing looks like, from the right side, it almost looks like a right-handed Shohei Ohtani to me. From the left side, it almost looks like Robinson Cano, as crazy as that sounds. It's definitely not what you would expect when you see this guy off the bus. You see his body type. But it is a force to be reckoned with, to do that with that much girth to, just a catcher's body, the big dumper. He does draw that power from, the squat muscles. And, he is an explosive athlete. Also, not to mention the fact that these MVP chants, the stadium is finally filled up with them. They're finally acknowledging them on the broadcast and everywhere. And he's feeding off of it. I mean, that at bat the other night where he gets the single off of Neris, and then he goes and steals a base as well, his 11th stolen base on the year. I mean, he is going to break the home run record for catchers and the stolen base record for catchers. I mean, really, it's almost a gimme at this point. Looking at the other hitters, Miles Mastrobuoni comes into the game for Ben Williamson, does a good job of putting the ball in play, although he strikes out in his one at-bat. Cole Young goes 1 for 4. He's staying consistent, and I love his approach. Gets the RBI and draws a walk, even though he struck out once. So his OPS is still at 663. I think it would not be a surprise if him and Ben Williamson both hit over 260 this year at this point. And when that happens, I won't be mad if we don't trade for a third or second baseman at the deadline. I think those guys are really, really valuable right now. In every way that a bigger name player could be valuable in those positions, these guys, there's the least amount of scouting report on Ben Williamson and Cole Young of anybody in this lineup. And Dom Canzone stays hot as well. He goes 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, gets the hit. Gets the hit, gets the run, gets the 2 RBIs, and it was a double to score both of those. Solano pinch hit at first base before. So Luke Raley started the game at first base, got a hit in his one at bat, and then walked in his other plate appearance. Scores a run, gets an RBI, doesn't strike out. Excellent game from Luke Raley. If he can, do the little things like that, walk, not strike out, and the power speed comes into play. It's the hit tool, the walk tool, those things for Luke Raley. If he does those better, then he just becomes a complete player, and he's absolutely got the power and speed that when he does those things well, the power and speed will show up as well. Polanco gets a hit. Randy goes 2 for 4, stays on fire. His OPS up to 834 on the season, the second highest on the team of qualified hitters, behind just Cal Raleigh. And Canzone's OPS up to 920. His batting average at 320. It's going to be really fun to see how Dom Canzone finishes out this year, because he is absolutely balling. Finally really getting over a full month in this season that he's actually played. Julio goes 1 for 5. Things take time, and you don't expect Julio to homer every game, but the approach still looks very, very good for Julio. And then Crawford, even though he doesn't get a hit, he strikes out twice, he still walks. And that's why the average is still 286, the OPS is still 772. A very consistent game overall from our team. Not the prettiest. It was very close, a lot of mistakes, but none of that matters because you can watch film on that the next day, as we did. What does matter is that we won this game, we took the series, we hold the key to the tiebreaker now, and today we've got an absolute juggernaut pitching matchup in the series finale. I mean, how you couldn't expect it to go any other way with these two teams. But you've got Brian Wu. The game has just started, top of the first. Astros off to a roaring start with a 196 batting average. Now it's up to 367. Caratini with a hard hit single, just about at 94.6. A hard hit is 95 or above. So, but Wu already getting into his arsenal, throwing a bunch of pitches in the first inning, and Hunter Brown matches up with him on the other side, who's had 2 bad outings going into the break, but has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year up until that point. And that's going to do it for today, for last night's game recap. I will see you guys later today to recap this game. I'm going to take Cal Raleigh to hit a homer. I'm going to take Brian Wu to get 7 strikeouts. And I'm going to say the score of this game is going to be 4-2 M's. That's going to really do it for me this time. I'll see you guys back later today to recap this one. It's been your boy Dom Skeen. Go M's.